I've been asked to speak for a few minutes about some of the achievements and highlights of Bruce's ministry here at Woodgrange, something I'm very glad to do. I've been asked to speak for a few minutes about some of the achievements and highlights of Bruce's ministry here at Woodgrange, something I'm very glad to do. I've been asked to speak for a few minutes about some of the achievements and highlights of Bruce. Bruce's ministry here at Woodgrange. I've been asked to speak for a few minutes about some of the achievements and highlights of Bruce's ministry here at Woodgrange, something I'm very glad to do, although I'm well aware that I may be able only just to sketch the outline of a portrait, as it were, and not paint a full picture. Bruce, Lois and their family joined us in October 2005 and very soon immersed themselves in Woodgrange. Their pastoral care extended far beyond physical visits to folk at home or in hospital locally, in and around Forest Gate, because my wife Christine and I can testify that Bruce and Lois have on occasions ventured into the very depths of Essex to see the pair of us from time to time. Given that the highlights of church life each week tend to be the Sunday services, this is one area where Bruce has, in his own words, combined the book, the Bible, with the silver screen, bringing his talks alive for the greater benefit of all in the congregation. Week by week over the past 15 years, he has expounded sound biblical teaching from the lectern, regularly tackling books and themes from both the Old and New Testaments. The Sunday sessions have been reinforced by a plethora of initiatives, some on Sunday evenings, but the majority midweek, including the formation of several home groups and other specific study circles with a broad range of appeal, but aimed at enhancing Christian discipleship. 5 strong church-based groups have emerged over the past 15 years and stood the test of time until the interruption of the pandemic. The twice-a-week baby toddler group, the Wednesday women's health session, the Thursday food bank, the Friday lunch club for elders, and the football academy on Saturday. Added to this are the other aspects of church life in which Bruce has played a full part: dedications, baptisms, weddings, and, sadly of late, seemingly far too many funerals. Bruce's 2005 vision of enabling Wood Grange to become a neighbourhood church, as distinct from a network church, I would say, has been realised. But I think he would be the first to admit that he could not have achieved this alone, and that much is owed to the unfailing support of volunteers from the congregation over the years. For a few years, this church enjoyed a close association with Isla, the East Young Leaders Academy under Ray Lewis, and also with the appointment of a parish nurse in the person of Noreen, accompanied by her husband Ewan with his musical and worship leading skills, helping to take some of the pressure off of Bruce's shoulders. Wood Grange's role over these years in helping several individuals pursue their calling to the Christian ministry was continued by Bruce's and the church's encouragement given to Phil and Heather Fellows to apply to Spurgeon's College for training. They are now in pastorate at a Baptist church in Surrey. In 2010, the church meeting at Bruce's instigation decided to refurbish the rear of the church premises with loans from the property board. And as a result, on completion, we were able to offer other churches and outside organisations the opportunity to use our premises in exchange for rentals which helped to repay the loans. In tandem with the church refurbishment, we also embarked on a programme of work to 146 Claremont, which required also property board loans. Needless to say, these projects demanded a fair amount of committee time to sort out the details, and Bruce, once again, found himself in the chair not only of deacons but also of admin and finance committee meetings. College ministerial training had apparently not covered this demanding aspect of church life, but once again Bruce rose to the occasion. Some years ago, in speaking to Doug Hollidge, a former minister of this church, I casually asked him, "What sort of a week have you had?" To which he replied, "More of the same." It may be the case that church life is for many more of the same, but I'd like to point out to a number of events which stick out in my memory from the last 15 years, though I do realise that others may have different memories to contribute. The first event is the celebration in November 2007 on the occasion of the church's 125th anniversary, to which many former members from far and wide were invited and gladly joined us for the weekend. 2 years later, at Easter, some members performed a musical From Pharaoh to Egypt, both here and elsewhere in the borough, followed by the musical While Shepherds Watched, which included junior church members at Christmas that year. In May 2010, Bruce took a group of 19 from Wood Grange to the Holy Land for a week. No easy task for any group leader, as 2 of the party were in wheelchairs. During 2012, the summer holidays at home were started, which included an outing on the last day. And with the departure of Noreen in 2017, Bruce stepped up temporarily to the post of baby toddler leader, pending the appointment by the church of a part-time community worker and administrator to relieve Bruce of some of his duties. And 2019 saw a very successful church weekend conference with an outside speaker take place at a well-appointed hotel. So much of what I have outlined was either suggested or instigated by Bruce, who led others through the maze. I think you will agree with me that we as a church have been truly blessed by Bruce's steadfast and sometimes sacrificial ministry. I'm well aware that people phone up ministers and bang on their front doors at all hours of the day and night, regardless of their need of sleep. And I'm pretty certain that the Stokes family have had some of that in their time at 345. I would like to, at this point, pay tribute to Lois. First of all, to thank her on behalf of the church for the support that she's given both to her husband and to all the varying church activities over the years. And secondly, on behalf of myself, for feeding me and others at odd times and lending a listening ear during our post-lunch discussions in the manse kitchen after a morning committee meeting. And on one occasion providing me with overnight bed and breakfast in the manse. It's traditional to wish folks a long and happy retirement, and as one who has so far retired 4 times, I still find myself busy. I echo that sentiment. Both of you well deserve a long and happy retirement with God's blessing.